Hello class, this is Professor Tweed going over exploded axons for plans, which is an interesting technique. And we just sort of, in the previous video, looked at how to change the perspective into orthographic view and sort of set our plane to get a plan view. But there's actually, to do an exploded axon all in Photoshop like we're going to do, there's a few steps you have to do. It's not hard, but you sort of have to follow the right steps in the right order to make it all work out very nicely, and so it might take me a few videos to get through it. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually I'm going to turn off my cross section, because what I want to make sure is I want to start by making sure that I can sort of get my entire plan, or not plan, but entire building in there, which I think we looked at previously. I'm going to make sure I'm going to do that. And then actually, as I'm sort of thinking about it, what I should do is I should come here and turn off shadows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to environment, and we can see that shadows are here, that's softness, and here's color, and I'm just going to take the opacity and turn them all to 0. So essentially I'm not going to cast shadows on the ground. That's another way of saying that. So under environment, take the opacity of shadows up to 0, and I can then flip back to scene, and we can see my shadows are gone off the ground. I still want the shadows of my building because that's going to look good, but otherwise I could have turned off the lights or done other things. But I still want the shadows of my building, but I want them off the ground, because I'm going to stack these, so otherwise it's going to be like having a little ground all in between, and that's just going to look funny. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this image and I'm going to use it as a base to construct the layers that will become my exploded axon. I know that you might not know what I'm going to say here, but just follow the steps and you'll get through. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to crop this down off at 11 by 17. This might just help me save some time. So I'm gonna crop this down, because I'm gonna really have to use another file anyway to construct this. And the bigger your paper size is, the more that it'll take to render. So this should hopefully help sort of speed up rendering. And actually, now that I took off shadows, I could probably even have made this a little bit bigger if I wanted to, but I think we'll be okay there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a new page, and I'm going to do 11 by 17 portrait, just like before. And this will actually be the one that's going to be my final explode axon. So I'm going to go ahead and save this as exploded axon final. I'm going to replace mine because I've already done it, but I probably should have saved another one, but there we go. I have to reconstruct it now anyway for you guys in this video. So I'm going to do that, and the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to use this image as part of my final construct, but I want to use this complete building as a way to sort of base off the rest of my work. And you'll see why, because we'll have to bring in a bunch of layers, and we'll want to make sure we align them properly, and we'll actually have to do 2 layers to get one level of plan. I know that doesn't make any sense, but so I'm going to need this as a base. So I'm going to go to my layers, make sure that that 3D thing is selected. I don't have to render it, especially at this stage, so I'm just going to select everything, and then I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it into this file and make its new layer, and it can go in the center. It's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter where it really goes. In fact, I might even, just for the heck of it, move it up to the top. That's going to allow me to start from the bottom of my house and give me some room to work. So I just copied and pasted in here to be the base, because what we'll be able to do with this guy is, as we paste in the pieces of the floor plan, we can snap to this guy, because Photoshop does have snap. If it's close enough, it'll sort of recognize the object and snap right into place. That'll help us align things and get things cut correctly, and so on and so forth. So that's sort of setting up the axon. In the next video, we'll look at actually making the various pieces, or at least part of the various pieces, in the stepwise process. So see you there.